Space Spuds, Chapter 5, Lessons from Explorers. The sheik brought the boys to his private tent where beautiful rugs covered the floor and pillows served as chairs. He offered them tea and called to a man at the door to retrieve Leppy. 4 men carried his cage to the entrance and released him into the tent, but kept guard outside. The moment he was freed, Leppy started screaming at the boys, but nobody could understand a word. He paced back and forth and gestured wildly until the sheik stood, fixed him with a stare, and Leppy fell silent. "I want you to calm down and sit down. My ancestors were seafaring merchants who traded in Africa and Asia since the days of wooden ships. We learned that sharing one another's stories leads to goodwill and friendship. And I will share those stories with you now." The sheik continued. "First, assume your new acquaintance has good intentions. Listen to their words and feelings. You listen better, learn, and understand when you put anger and fear aside. Second, when it's your turn, recount your background and goals. You give a gift when you tell the whole truth. Others recognize this gift, and they will begin to trust and perhaps admire you. Now I want you to share with each other. Since you have come the farthest," he said, offering his open hand to Leppy, "it is appropriate that you, sir, go first." Leppy stood and stared at the carpet for a long time. When he raised his head, he fastened his eyes on the sheik's falcon in a cage across the tent and spoke slowly and calmly. "Please excuse my behavior, but I'm angry, and I have been angry for a very long time, very angry." In spite of efforts to contain it, Leppy's voice became a shout. "But I am king of potatoes." His voice moderated, but he spoke quickly. "I don't live on Earth now, but I lived here long ago. Leprechauns were here at the time of the dinosaurs when there were almost no other mammals. Our civilization was highly developed, but scientists don't know about that today because the movements of continental plates wiped out our buildings and the monuments we had created after we departed. Our civilization was based on potatoes. We ate them for every meal, and we grew enormous ones until the end came. When the asteroid crashed and killed all the dinosaurs, we could no longer use dino poop for fertilizer. Then our potatoes shrank so much we were forced to develop spaceships and seek another planet with a climate suitable for potatoes. After much effort, we established ourselves in the Kartoffel galaxy on an empty planet we named Palm. Because we eat only potatoes, we live long lives on Palm. You might be interested to know that I was born on Earth all those millions of years ago. I was named the Potato King because I can eat more potatoes than anybody in the entire galaxy, and I'm proud of my accomplishment. We are a very proud people, proud of our potato heritage, and don't want anybody from Earth debasing us with their silly claims. We do remember fondly the Earth, and we monitored its evolution over many millions of years. We paid closer attention after Earthlings launched their first satellite. But then I was outraged. They'd called it Sputnik, and I heard that in recent centuries many Earth people have called themselves the Potato King. That's crazy, outrageous. It has to stop." His voice started rising again. His hands became clenched fists, and he started pacing back and forth as he spoke. "First, your South American Indians claimed they'd invented the potato. Then Frederick, King of Russia, said he was the Potato King. Then the Frenchmen Parmentier and Americans from Maine to Idaho claimed to be Potato Kings. Even a truck company claims they're potato kings. I could no longer stand the insults and jumped into my spaceship to put things right. Oh, I heard about French fries only during the many years voyage from the Kartoffel galaxy. You fools! Everybody knows the only proper way to cook potatoes is to boil them. French fries, French fries, French fries. Everybody on Earth eats them. What stupid people have evolved here since the leprechauns departed? Leppy was breathing hard, sweating, and his face was redder than a red potato. So I'm here on Earth now to put an end to this debasement of potatoes and insults to the real potato king, me. I'll put things right, even if I have to entirely destroy Earth. Whew, the sheik said, my, that's quite a story. Please sit on that cushion over there. I understand better. I can see you're passionate about potatoes and are here on a mission that's very important to you. We will discuss your story, but our ancient sailors learned that it is best to first hear the other story. Young men, please go ahead. Tell your story. Leo stood as Leppy sat down. Let me start by explaining what we call French fries. They've been eaten for 200 years, but the term French fry was first used by American soldiers in Belgium during World War II. That's about 100 years ago. They were in the part of Belgium that speaks French and connected the food with the language. Leo paused because he could see Leppy was becoming agitated and grinding his teeth. Then he went on. French fries didn't become super popular in America until a French man found a way to freeze potatoes without turning them black. Now most American homes have a bag of frozen French fries in their freezer. Do you freeze potatoes on planet Palm? When Leo saw Leppy shaking and fuming, he continued without waiting for an answer. In the last 150 years, potatoes have also been made into crispy chips and even into powder. We Earthlings love potatoes and apply our imaginations to find ever more appetizing ways to eat them. We intend no respect to you, Leppy, or to other people of planet Palm. Then the sheik said, Thank you for that explanation, young man. Our ancient Omani explorers would advise that you each now, you and Leppy, make a goodwill gesture to each other. Leppy sat slouched back, frowning and silent. I have an idea, said Rookie. Leppy, would you like to come to our house? You could try eating a real French fry in France. Leppy looked up at the ceiling and grimaced. Ugh! I know I wouldn't like them. Maybe not, Rookie said. If you don't, we could then take you to Ireland with us. People there boil almost all their potatoes. I don't know if you had them when you were there, but they do, and they're great. You could enter a potato eating contest. It would be fun for you. Our cousin Steve can eat 16 big potatoes in about 10 minutes. I bet he'd be hard to beat. Leppy rolled his eyes. But then a smile appeared on his face. Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, thank you. I'd like to do that. The sheik said, Now, sir, Mr. Potato King from the Kartoffel Galaxy, could you please offer these boys a goodwill gesture in return? Why, yes, I can. I would like to offer you boys a ride to France. Leo said, Gee, I'm not sure I want to go up into a spaceship just to get back to France. Oh, but that's not necessary, Leppy said. I can get you there much faster than your jets can without even going into the air. Both boys looked at him, puzzled. Might this have something to do with how you were able to get from Ireland to Sri Lanka and then from Sri Lanka to Oman faster than we could on a jet? We couldn't imagine how you did it, Rookie said. You're right, and here's how I beat you, Leppy said. Only a few geologists know this, but our potato cultivation during the time of the dinosaurs was so incredibly successful that we carelessly wasted billions of them. They eventually sank beneath the Earth's crust and below the level of oil wells. They formed a layer of mashed potatoes all around the globe. We also created such a layer on planet Palm when we got there, and after it had developed, we found a way to use it for transportation. Our Spuds speeder can tunnel through the layers super fast, and if you place enough salt and butter in the speeder's nose cone, you can break the sound barrier. Amazing, cried Leo, Rookie, and the Sheik all at the same time. And then Leppy continued. If you jump into the air and holler, Spuds forever, 4 times before touching the ground, a potato hologram grows around you, opens the portal, and you plunge down to the mashed potato layer. You might ask, what happens then? Well, if you're with me, you jump into the Spud speeder that I brought from Palm. Hey, let's go outside and jump and go to France. The excited trio thanked the Sheik profusely, got up, gave each other a hug, and were out the door.